Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm Gene Dow filling in for Jim Wilburn this week. We're coming to you from the Hall of Champions, which is located right next to the field house at Bulldog Bowl in Artesia, New Mexico. And this week it's Soccer Week, and we have Chris Wiles with us, who's the boys soccer coach for Artesia High. Chris, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's been an exciting couple of weeks since the last time you were on our program, and Jim got to talk to you and kind of bring us up to speed on how the soccer program is doing. I know you got off to a really good start this year.
Yes, actually, well, we did start off the season quite well, actually, and very impressive. We've had some pretty tough games in there, and we've got some good wins. Our last few games have been really tough. We played some 5A teams, played tough with Carlsbad, Clovis, and Hobbs. The last 3 games we've played, and those are always tough opponents in the boys soccer. So, we've had some close games in there, and so we're struggling a little bit, but I feel like we're heading in the right direction, and I think we're on the uphill here looking for another win here pretty soon. So.
I know when we talked to Coach Trentham about the girls program, they've been dealing with some injuries. How's your kids health-wise? Are everybody doing okay?
We've managed to stay pretty healthy most of the season. The last couple of games, we were 100% healthy this last game against Hobbs. Prior to that, we had a player or two that were dealing with some injuries, one not playing and one just playing through the injuries. But for the most part, we've been pretty fortunate this year with nothing serious, nothing that anyone's been out for longer than a couple of weeks. So
good.
We've been hanging in there.
How's your JV program coming along?
JV's coming along pretty good. The team aspect of the JV is really looking good. I'm pretty impressed with the way they pass and play as a team. I still think we've got some fundamentals to work on, but overall, I'm happy with where it's heading and where they're going.
Now, who are your other coaches, or how many other coaches do you have that help you out?
Well, we have some contract coaches. Of course, I'm the boys' head varsity coach. Then we have Philip Jowers that assists me on the varsity. And then Chance Knowlton, JV coach, and Abel Bolaños, also JV coach as well.
That's great. And so you guys get together and kind of communicate and try to make sure everybody's teaching along the same lines as far as your philosophy and game philosophy?
Yeah, they kind of understand formations and different things we run. We kind of talk a little bit, before practices, kind of see what's going on, what the plans are for the day, what we want to accomplish, that type of thing. So we try to, stay on the same page as far as what we're all doing and where we're heading with everything.
What are some of the things you've been most impressed with or most pleased with that your team has done this year?
Just really, last year we saw some really good, and then this year we really are heading in the right direction. Just the passing, the team play. I feel like the boys are really coming together as a team. And I don't know how it was prior, but I am pleased with what they've done since I've been down here coaching these kids, and so I think the team play has been really good. I think the varsity fundamentals are really sound, and I think the JV's getting there, and their team play has been just phenomenal to me.
Anything that's kind of surprised you this year, or scratch your head, I didn't expect that?
I've got a lot of seniors out there, so it's always nice having more leadership than usual. And then JV, it's nice seeing who's going to come out in that group as a leader and maybe for the future of the varsity. So I always kind of look forward to see who that person's going to be.
Yeah, so you just kind of never know what's going to who's going to step up and surprise you.
Some do surprise you, and so it always is kind of interesting. Me and the coaches always kind of look and think, who's it going to be this year or next year, I guess. So. Yeah.
Now around the district, I know district is coming up here in a couple of weeks for you, and so you've got Goddard, you've got Roswell, they're in the same district as Artesia. How are those programs doing right now, and what do you see as the biggest challenge against those two teams when you face them?
In my opinion, I think we've got probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest district in the state in 4A. I mean, there's only 3 teams, but it's really tough. All 3 teams are top 10 teams in the state in 4A and have been pretty much the whole year. It was the same way last year. Roswell's up in the top 4 usually. And us and Goddard have been kind of back and forth up there, 7, 8, 9, 10 area. They're both good teams. It's going to be competitive. So I look forward to some pretty close matches and fun games as well.
Now, how does the soccer tournament for the state tournament, district tournament, how does that all work out? Who gets to go, and what are your challenges now to make sure that you're in the playoffs?
Well, they pick 12 teams, two teams from each district automatically go. And then they have 6 at-large bids that they pick out to go to state. And so really you don't want to just depend on them to pick you. So you hope to get the top 2, of course, a win if possible. I like our chances at district getting the top 2, and I really think we have a good legitimate chance at even winning district. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I know last year all 3 teams went to state in our district, so it kind of gives you an idea of how competitive our district really is statewide compared to the others.
And where are the state tournament games played?
The first round is usually held at the Better Seed facility, and then after that, the second on to the championship is held in Albuquerque for the rest of the tournament there.
So that always makes it for a fun trip if you get to go for more than one game, hopefully.
Definitely, yeah, you always hope the better, you get the better seed for first round, so you get the home advantage, and then after that, it's all up in Albuquerque. So it is a fun trip. I'm hoping we get to make that trip this year. I think we have a lot of skill, and I think we have definitely the opportunity to do that. So,
over the next couple of weeks, tell us about your schedule, because in addition to the district schedule, you've got some other tough opponents. I think you mentioned Clovis is on the schedule coming up.
Yeah, we got Ruidoso coming up Saturday, which they're always pretty good, and then we got Clovis come down to our place on next Thursday, I believe. So that'll be another tough match. They've beaten Roswell and Goddard, and they beat us the first time. I feel like we can compete with them. And then, we start out district with Goddard over at their place. So we'll hopefully get a couple of wins under our belt, a little momentum going into district.
And then you've got a home game in district that you're going to designate as your senior day. Tell us about that.
Yes, actually, October 7th against Clovis at our place here, we'll have senior day. Where we just recognize all of our senior players and what they've kind of done, and their parents, and just give them a little recognition that's been, deserved for these kids and how hard they've worked. So it's just something that we and they look forward to. So I would like to invite everybody in the public to come support them and come see the guys play on October 7th and recognize our seniors.
That's great. Now you play at the Mac Chase for your home games. That's natural grass?
Yes, sir.
Most of the places that you play soccer, are they natural grass, or are you starting to see some of the artificial surfaces pop up?
It's a mix, really. A lot of the 5A teams anymore are turf, and then the nicer 4A facilities are going to be turf. And that's not always the case. We have nice facilities here, and we're on natural grass. And I know usually coach's preference is natural grass if it's kept up with and that type of thing. And ours has always been maintained really well, so we're able to keep that nice grass out there. But we are seeing a lot of teams and schools switch to turf. I know the state tournament's held on turf in Albuquerque, so I think that's kind of everyone's wanting to head in that direction anyways, just to make it as close as possible to the state tournament.
Sure, and I think from a cost standpoint, school districts have to look at maintaining grass versus maintaining carpet. But it's not really carpet. I mean, it's kind of like what the football team plays on here.
Yes, definitely. And I think in the long run, it is a little bit more manageable and cost-effective to have that turf. So
yeah,
we are seeing a lot of people going to turf.
Yeah. Now, did you ever play on turf, or all your games on grass?
Well, most of the games when I was in school was on grass. There was a few fields out there that were turf, so I got to experience a little bit of turf. More indoor soccer than outdoor, but there was a couple of fields out there that were turf. But then it was just mostly real grass. So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting to see that change take place.
Good. How's the fan base in Artesia? You starting to see some folks come out and follow your teams?
Yeah, we are starting to see a lot more people come out to the soccer fields, which is nice. The boys love it. And as we become more successful and we're winning more games, fans from the public are starting to get a little more interested in seeing, hearing about us, so they want to go see us and check us out, see what we look like. So we are starting to see more fans, and we love it. So we'd always like to see as many fans out there as possible.
Great. We cover everything, or is there anything else you want to make sure we cover today?
No, I think October 7th is our next home game. We'd love to see everybody out there, recognize our seniors, come on out and support the Bulldog soccer team.
Great. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Our guest on this segment of Coach's Corner, Chris Wiles, the boys soccer coach with Artesia High School, and we want to thank our sponsors, New Mexico State University, Carlsbad. I have my cheat sheet here. I have to look at the notes. I'm an old radio guy, what can I do? Letcher Golden and Associates, and whether your insurance needs involve a large commercial business, oil, gas, farm or ranch, or construction, auto, home, life, or health, Letcher Golden and Associates can help. We thank them for sponsoring our program today. Thanks for joining us. Jim will be back next week, and I guarantee he does not have a tie. That's it for this week's Coach's Corner. I'm Gene Dow.